Alright guys, for this video we're going to be talking about roots of polynomials. So if you were with us for the Zoom meeting, then this is going to be pretty easy for you, but if not, it'll take a little bit of explanation. It gives us two roots of a polynomial. It says rate a polynomial of least degree with roots 7 and -3. So what we discovered from the previous Zoom and Desmos was that we can write both of these roots or x-intercepts inside sets of parentheses. So because there's two roots given, we're going to have two sets of parentheses here. And then we also realized that each of them is going to have whatever variable at the beginning. It actually tells us underneath here that we need to use x. And then it's going to be the opposite sign of whatever roots are given. So instead of a +7, I'm going to write a -7 in here. And then instead of a -3, I'm going to write a +3. So that's what my two roots look like written out. But it wants standard form, so what that means is we need to simplify this by distributing. So if I actually do distribution here, think about that x times each, and then the -7 times each. So x times x is x squared. X, and if we follow the other arrow over here, times 3 is going to give me a 3x. And then if I scoot over to the -7 and I do that multiplication, I'm going to have -7x underneath there. And then I'm going to have a -7 times 3 as well for -21. I have one more step here before I can write my answer because these in the middle here are like terms. So I can combine those. I'm still going to have the x squared at the front. I'm still going to have a -21 at the end. However, in the middle now, I'm going to have -4x. And then now, because none of these are like terms, this is my polynomial that's going to go in the box here. So let's go ahead and show that. I'm going to have x, and then I'm going to use this button that IXL gives us here for squared, and then -4x, and then -21. So that's the goal for each of these. For this IXL, a lot of the process is going to be the same over and over again with just different roots in there. Let me jump ahead and show you one or two different twists that I'll throw at you before we get into any other videos, but that'll wrap up this one. So something else you may see is three roots. The only difference here is that we'll have an extra set of parentheses at the beginning. So our first one's going to be x minus 5. The next one's going to be x plus 5. And then the last one's going to be x plus 3. There we go. So when I have multiple sets of parentheses like this, my suggestion would be to pick any two and distribute those first, and then distribute through with the last one. So let's go ahead and do the first two here. X times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. And then I'm going to scoot over and I'm going to do the -5 times x. I can already tell those middle two are going to cancel out. That's pretty nice for us. And then at the end there, I'm going to end up with a -25. So before I bring in this last set of parentheses, let's simplify this. Well, +5 and a -5, the same variable, are going to cancel. So I'm going to have x squared minus 25. And then that's going to be distributed by x plus 3. So when I have something like this, it acts the same way, even with a different exponent at the start there. X squared times x is going to give me x to the third power. X squared times 3 is going to be 3x squared. Underneath, I'm going to have negative 25 times x. And then finally at the end here, negative 25 times 3 is going to give me negative 75. So it's got to be careful with our multiplication here. None of these are like terms because we have different exponents, a 3, a 2, this is technically a 1, this is technically a 0. So that's our final solution there. I'm going to use the buttons that IXL provides to get those exponents. And then we'll double check, make sure what we had was good. Awesome. I don't think there will be much more of a twist on here besides what we've shown. The only thing, and we'll see if I find it by jumping around a little bit, is sometimes you'll have a root that is 0, just so you guys know, since it's not going to give me one right now. If they have a root of 0, you could put in x plus or minus 0 if you wanted to, but really you could just put in x and that would make your distribution easier. So that's what you would do if that does pop up for you. Okay, so we'll close this one out here. Like if it helped you, feel free to subscribe for future videos and future lessons. All right, see ya.